In the vast tapestry of Christian scripture, one story stands out as both fascinating and sobering: Satan's appearance before God. This moment is one of the Bible's most unique encounters, an episode that raises profound questions about the nature of good and evil, the purpose of suffering, and the strength of faith. But why did Satan appear before God? What did this moment signify for humanity, and how does it resonate with believers today? In this exploration, we'll dive deeply into the book of Job, a text that's inspired believers for generations, unpacking the scenes that frame Satan's role and how his encounter with God brings us lessons that echo through centuries of faith. As you listen, let this be a journey that invites you to face life's trials with renewed strength and resolve, knowing that every test serves a purpose. Part 1: The Celestial Court, Satan's Bold Entrance. In the book of Job, we are introduced to a man of great virtue, blameless and upright. Job's faith and integrity were known across the land. Yet, amid this serenity, a shift occurs. One day, as the angels present themselves before God, Satan joins them. The atmosphere shifts. A challenger has arrived. This was no ordinary visitor. This was the accuser, and his presence cast a shadow over heaven's peace. But why would God allow Satan into his presence? To understand, we must realize that this scene is not just a meeting, it's the beginning of a divine examination, a testing ground for one of God's most faithful servants. Satan, the adversary, comes with a purpose, questioning the authenticity of human loyalty, suggesting that man is only faithful when life is comfortable. For Satan, Job's devotion is conditional. If Job's blessings were taken, his loyalty would falter. Part 2: The Challenge, Faith Beyond Blessings. When God proudly presents Job's loyalty, Satan issues a chilling challenge: does Job fear God for nothing? This question goes beyond Job. It addresses a larger question of faith. Are humans faithful to God only for the blessings they receive? Is devotion genuine when it's rewarded, or does true faith shine brightest in adversity? Satan's words echo as a challenge not only to Job but to every believer who faces hardship. God accepts Satan's proposition, allowing him to test Job, but with one condition: Satan may touch his possessions, but not Job's life. Here, God shows that he values the genuine nature of our faith. True loyalty withstands storms, and he knew Job's character. This permission given to Satan would lead to trials, yet it would ultimately reveal a steadfast, unshaken trust. Part 3: A Cascade of Tragedies. The trials begin with unparalleled intensity. Job loses his wealth, his children, and his status. In rapid succession, he faces calamities that would break even the strongest souls. Yet, amid the ruins of his life, Job's response is one of worship. He declares, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." It's in these words that the heart of true faith is revealed. For Job, God's worth is beyond earthly blessings. This moment is profound. It shows that faith's strength is not measured by what we have, but by our surrender to God's sovereignty. Job's response humbles us. It reminds us that in every loss, a divine purpose exists, even if we do not understand it. Part 4: The Second Meeting, Satan Strikes Again. But Satan is not satisfied. He returns to God and questions Job's integrity once more, insisting that anyone would endure external losses if their health were untouched. God grants Satan limited authority once again, but commands him to spare Job's life. This time, Job suffers painful sores that ravage his body, pushing him to physical and emotional extremes. Even Job's wife urges him to curse God and die, but Job's loyalty remains. Despite his suffering, he does not sin against God. This second trial, more personal and agonizing, further purifies Job's faith, proving that his love for God transcends all earthly conditions. Here, we witness that faith, real faith, is steadfast through the worst of trials. Part 5. What this means for us, embracing the test of faith. Job's story does not simply reveal one man's resilience, it teaches us that trials serve a greater purpose. Many of us experience struggles, moments where it feels as though everything is falling apart. It's natural to wonder why, to question the reason behind our suffering. Yet, Job's journey provides a profound answer. Trials refine our faith, strengthen our resolve, and deepen our relationship with God. Throughout the Bible, those called by God often endure tests. Joseph was thrown into a pit, Moses led through a desert, and Daniel faced lions. Each faced moments of despair, yet these trials became stepping stones toward their divine destiny. The trials are not punishments, they are preparations. In John 16 verse 33, Jesus tells us, "In this world, you will have trouble. But take heart. I have overcome the world." This promise is our anchor during life's storms. Like Job, we are called to remain faithful, to see God's hand in the darkest times, knowing that He is shaping us for greater things. Part 6. The ultimate restoration, God's double blessing. After all his trials, God restores Job's fortunes, blessing him with twice as much as he had before. Job's loyalty, patience, and perseverance were rewarded, and his suffering became the foundation for an abundant life. This restoration symbolizes God's promise that He sees every struggle, and in His timing, blessings will flow. For those who believe, Job's story offers hope. God does not abandon His own. Instead, He walks with us, teaching us to rely on His strength and promises. Job's life reminds us that in God's hands, our greatest trials will become our greatest testimonies. In the spiritual realm, the narrative of Satan's challenge to humanity has profound implications that resonate even in contemporary society. The story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the constant battle between good and evil, faith and doubt. It compels us to reflect on our choices and the values we hold, guiding us in our spiritual journey. The challenge that Satan presents is not merely a historical account but a living reality that influences our thoughts, actions, and beliefs today. The essence of Satan's challenge lies in the question of authority and the nature of free will. In a world saturated with information and competing ideologies, we are often faced with choices that test our faith and commitment to divine principles. Much like the early biblical figures, modern individuals grapple with temptations that seek to lead them astray from their moral compass. The question we must confront is whether we will stand firm in our convictions or succumb to the seductive whispers that encourage doubt and fear. One significant aspect of Satan's challenge is its emphasis on the importance of discernment. Today, we live in an age where information is abundant, yet wisdom is scarce. As we navigate through various life choices, we encounter a myriad of perspectives that can easily sway us. For example, the pressure to conform to societal norms can often lead individuals to compromise their beliefs. This challenge mirrors the biblical narrative, where figures like Job faced immense trials that tested their faithfulness. Practical example, the power of discernment in daily life. Consider a young professional, Sarah, who is deeply rooted in her Christian faith. She has always believed in honesty and integrity in her work. However, as she ascends in her career, she finds herself surrounded by colleagues who often bend the rules to get ahead. They advocate for shortcuts that compromise ethical standards, rationalizing their actions by pointing out that everyone is doing it. Sarah feels the pressure to conform, fearing that her refusal to engage in such practices may hinder her career advancement. In this scenario, Satan's challenge manifests in the form of societal pressures that question her commitment to her values. The temptation to abandon her principles for personal gain is palpable, echoing the age-old battle of good versus evil. However, Sarah remembers the teachings from her faith, recognizing that true success is built on a foundation of integrity and trustworthiness. She reflects on the biblical story of Daniel, who maintained his convictions even when faced with dire consequences, and chooses to uphold her ethical standards. Through this experience, Sarah learns the importance of discernment and the courage to resist temptation. She decides to speak up against unethical practices in her workplace, promoting a culture of honesty. As a result, she inspires her colleagues to reevaluate their actions and consider the long-term implications of their choices. Sarah's story illustrates how the challenge presented by Satan is not merely an abstract concept but a tangible reality that can shape our daily decisions. The impact of community and accountability. Furthermore, the narrative highlights the significance of community and accountability in confronting Satan's challenge. In today's world, where isolation can lead to vulnerability, the support of a strong community can empower individuals to stand firm in their beliefs. Just as biblical figures leaned on one another during trials, modern believers can find strength in their faith communities. Consider a small group of friends who regularly meet to discuss their faith and support each other in their spiritual journeys. When one member, Mark, faces a personal crisis that tests his faith, the group rallies around him, offering encouragement and wisdom. They remind him of the importance of prayer and staying rooted in Scripture during times of doubt. Mark realizes that he is not alone in his struggles. The collective strength of his community reinforces his commitment to his beliefs. Together, they pray for guidance, drawing on biblical promises that remind them of God's faithfulness. This fellowship provides the support needed to resist the temptations that arise from external pressures and internal doubts. As we reflect on Satan's challenge, we are called to action. It urges us to cultivate discernment, foster supportive communities, and remain steadfast in our faith. In a world that continually presents challenges to our beliefs, we must draw strength from our faith and the lessons learned from those who have walked before us. The story of Satan's challenge is more than a historical account. It serves as a living reminder that our choices matter. Each decision shapes our character and influences those around us. By choosing faith over fear, integrity over compromise, and community over isolation, we not only honor our convictions but also inspire others to do the same. Ultimately, the lessons learned from this challenge transcend time and space, urging us to stand firm in our faith. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, let us remember that we are not alone in our struggles. Just as biblical figures faced their challenges with courage, we too can find strength in our convictions and support in our communities. The battle between good and evil continues, and it is our choices that define the outcome. By embracing our faith and resisting the challenges that seek to undermine it, we can illuminate the path for others, fulfilling our purpose in a world that desperately needs hope and guidance. Why Satan's challenge still matters today. So, why did Satan appear before God? His challenge was not just to question Job but to test the depth of our devotion. The narrative of Job serves as a timeless reminder that in the face of adversity, we must look beyond the immediate pain and trust in the unseen work God is doing. Satan's role as the accuser only amplifies God's love, showing that our Creator believes in our strength and capacity for loyalty. In today's world, where trials come in many forms, Job's story remains as relevant as ever. As believers, we are invited to embrace faith's journey, holding tightly to God's promises. Let Job's resilience inspire you, for in every season of hardship, there awaits a season of double blessing. Just as God restored Job, so too does He hold restoration for each of us. Embrace your trials, knowing they are but the pathway to a greater glory. Let this story of Job be a source of encouragement in your trials. Stand firm in faith, trusting that God will turn every hardship into a blessing. If you feel inspired, leave a comment sharing your reflections or how this story has touched your heart.
If this message resonates with you, hit that like button and let the universe know you're ready for your breakthrough. Subscribe to our channel for more transformative insights and guidance on your journey to abundance. Share this video with friends and family who need to hear this today. Let's amplify our positive energy together. Your engagement not only helps us grow but also strengthens the cosmic energy we are building as a community. Together, we can uplift each other and manifest our dreams into reality, one positive action at a time.